All right.
Okay.
Dude,
They can hear us. Oh, no, go ahead.
Right,
yeah, they can hear it, but you can say it.
Hey, I love the tweets you put out with this patch. That was great. I love seeing that. So.
Oh, really?
I love how you grabbed like you section the boom, put this tweet, grab this, because I do the retweet, letting my viewers know or my followers know with the tweet that hey, like check this out, it's great, whatever, and then kind of do a shout out, whatever. But I don't really do that's just retweeting the tweet itself.
Yeah,
you grab parts of the actual thing, so it was nice to see.
Yeah, bro. Like, because here's my thing. So first of all, before we actually get into it, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the 50th episode of the Fault Partner Panel. Holy shit, we've been doing this for way too long. It's got to be at least. Right? You think so?
Like 150 more to go at least.
Joe Rogan ain't got shit on us. 1K, where we at? But wow, 50 episodes. Holy shit. Mingus has been here for a whole 20 of them. I'm sorry, Goose. But no, to kind of just touch on what you said there a little bit. This patch that Strange Matters released actually had quite a bit. So we're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into some of the tweets that they posted. I have been liking what I've been seeing out of them on Twitter, so we'll elaborate on that part as well. And we have our guest host here, so let's do our introductions if you can. Start off Odo, then Bearded. Sorry, Odo, Mangoose, then Bearded. Sorry, introduce yourselves to the community a little bit.
Hello, everyone. I am Odo. I am the goggled one who does the goggling. So, yeah, come for the goggles. Don't stay for me. That's about the way it goes.
Come for the goggles. Don't stay for me, lit. Okay. And Senor Goose.
What's up, everybody on the Mango Show? Got some leftover dick there?
Over to you, Bearded. If you guys aren't already following Mangus on YouTube, go pull up his YouTube and look at some of his shorts, and you'll know exactly why I'm laughing right now. Oh my gosh. Welcome, everybody. I'm the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder and also Fault Partner. This is episode 50, and I'm still excited to do these shows with you guys, and I can't wait to get into this one. Windu?
Yo, fucking 50, bro. What's up, guys? I am Windu, also known as WinduTheMace. We do everything here from Fault-related content and other mobile-related content, Predecessor over Prime, etc. But this series of episodes that we do is specifically focused on Fault. We're going to sit here, break down the latest updates, break down what exactly is going on, and just give critical feedback that is needed at times. So the first thing that I want to get into, real quick, let's piggyback off of what you started there, Bearded, the whole tweeting about this specific patch. Because I'll be real, like the tweets that I made, which I can try and pull up on screen here for everybody. The tweets that I made, I really wish that we would see a little more of that out of Strange Matters, which we did start seeing a little bit. But like individual tweets like, hey, this highlight, this feature, now available. Click on the link to read more, right? Like little things like that, I really, really wish that they did more of. Like look for here, for example, I'll put it on the screen while we talk.
I understand what you're saying, and they're getting better at that because they also did the tweet of a video of showing you how to click on everything, and they sent that out there, like showing you like, hey, you can click this, on this screen, for the ping system that we'll get into farther as we read this. So they are doing something like that, just not to the full extent of like what you did, but they are getting there. And you see, just looking at from episode 1, when we're talking about these patches and we're doing these shows, to episode 50, the change in what they've done with their socials is night and day. And it's definitely improving as they go. And it's great. Great to see.
Dude, you're not wrong. And am I the only one that loves that they're actually memeing on their socials and posting up like funny things?
Right, but on this one, you got pulled up on the screen, man. I can't believe they did Easy Ed like that.
I can't with you, bro. I can't with it. He did himself. 291 attack raptors. You know what's crazy? Dude, that shit happens all the time. Mm-hmm. Like playing fall, everything.
Like seeing them show a little sense of humor in their posts. That's really nice.
Well,
it's good to see.
I don't know. Can you pull up?
It's healthy.
I don't know if is it going to be on mine. Pull up my Twitter real quick if you don't mind. Because I just retweeted. They just did a hotfix earlier today, so we can go over that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But and they actually memed my hotfix tweet that I did.
Oh, and the comment. Yeah, I saw that.
The comment.
They said, you said, this team is grinding. Keep it up, SMS. And they wrote, all gas, no brakes, bye-bye.
Exactly. So it's good to see that, a little interaction with the community. Yes, that way. There we go.
I will say
that's I replied,
that interaction is amazing.
Oh, nice. Nicely done, Bearded.
Like that.
Double touche.
I really want to see more of that interaction. I think even something as simple as posting like a GIF, right, as an answer to what people say is like, yo, this patch sucks. And then like, post a worried face or something, something random, like something to engage with the community. Like more of this, I think can only be healthy all day.
Sure.
Now, speaking of, they also started sharing clips. We saw one last week, and that was Goose's clip, if I'm not mistaken, with the gadget, right? The Gadget Fang Mao one.
I thought it was your clip.
That's you.
No. I'm saying last week. The gadget one.
Yeah, gadget. Yes. Yeah.
So they shared Goose's
gadget.
Yes, they shared Goose's video clip, and then now they're showing one of mine, for example. Like, I like the fact that they're also doing this. Tagging the creators, keeping it nice and simple, just quoting something, and they're like, it doesn't take a lot of effort to do something like this. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're already playing the game.
Yeah, and it keeps it very consistent.
Yep.
And then when they actually go and announce, and I like the fact that they're ramping up to it, right? They don't just come out with an announcement patch and then 10 tweets after. Like they're slowly like, hey, we're going to post a meme. We're going to post a video clip of our game, etc. Just start generating engagement within the Twitter sphere and all social medias and stuff. And then once they know engagement is there, because when you ever notice on social media, when you like something, like let's say Bearded likes one of my pictures. Now, for some reason, every single thing that I post shows up on Bearded's timeline. Mm-hmm. That's just how the algorithms work, right? So by them creating that engagement and then posting something important, it helps guarantee the fact that that'll be reached by more people. For sure. So then they released the patch, and then they actually released hot fixes, which we'll go into all of them. But I do want to give them a shout out for the fact that they've already had 2 hot fixes in about 36 hours or so.
Right.
Like 30 hours or whatever.
Yeah, they're grinding.
And those hot fixes actually included quite a bit adjustments. People gave feedback and they were like, hey, like we would like to see this feature. We would like to see that feature, etc. And they are actually not only implementing new stuff, but simultaneously fixing other stuff. So they're all gas, no brakes, like they were saying. So I just want to throw it out there. Quick little shout out to Strange Banners because they are doing amazing.
Yes.
Now, before we actually get into the patch, tell me about those matches that you guys have had, your experiences. Because we just confirmed before we recorded it, everybody here has tried the patch before we did this.
Yep.
So start it off, Otto. Start it off.
Otto, yeah.
Okay, so pre-hot fixes, it for me was almost unplayable. My frame drops would literally go from 2 to 60. I know, because I sat there watching it because I was going to try to get some recording and some stuff going on, but I couldn't. I could barely last hit minions with it. It was
so. You originally play at 2 frames per second.
Oh yeah, that's the best frame rate.
I just wonder how it went from 2 to 60. Don't you mean it going from 60 to 2?
Yeah, it slows time down.
It started at 2 and then went to 60, and then it said whatever it wanted. But yeah,
it's too fast. I can't hit my last hits. What's going on?
Why are all these extra colors here? What's going on? Needs to slow down. I'm getting old.
Go ahead.
But no, it was and even after it did stabilize ish out, it was hovering 40s and 30s.
Okay.
And it was just really bad before the hot patch. Like I even went into AI and tweaked every setting, and I took the 3D resolution down to below 50%, and it's still no frames.
Okay. So now that was before hotfix, you said, right?
Yep. That was before the hotfix.
All right. So that was before the original hotfix. So I haven't played this second hotfix that happened yet. I've only played post first hotfix. Is the only time
I played before both.
So after the hotfix, you played after the hotfix?
Yeah, I played after the hotfix. I put in a game after that.
And
it's better than it was before. It's gone. I'm even running at a higher texture rate. I think I even have shadows on right now, and it's all set to like higher epic.
Nice. And what frames do you have? Do you have it set to 60 frames? You got
I have it capped at 60.
Capped at 60. Okay. Yeah, I know everybody's rig's different, so you have to do one or two things, something like that. I think even Mangoose doesn't go above 60, but that's because he doesn't record for anything above that or whatever. So, everybody's different in the situation. Okay. But after the hot fixes, after playing the hot fix, what else have you seen with the patch? And besides the frame drops of that, like, have you noticed anything else that you liked about what was going on with the patch and stuff like that?
I really like the new rend item. What's it? The new
cleave.
The cleave.
Yeah, the cleave. I like the active on it a lot. It as a carry main, I probably shouldn't run it, but that extra damage early game is unbeatable.
Bro, I did it. I'm with you. That's the first thing I did. I picked up a Murdock and I did it, bro. Combining the Murdock shotgun with that AoE damage,
it's massive.
It's spicy, bro. You can clear waves like nobody's business too. Like if you're trying to shove a lane, you literally shotgun AoE, that entire wave is gone, walk away. Actually disgusting.
I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Now the cleave one, the cleave item, I like it. I just wish that it would get better with age, and then you could show the cleave age at the end, like how.
I can't with him. I'm done. I'm done.
I didn't reach it all. I did not reach it all. I actually used that in Gen Chat.
You had to reach all the way around for that one.
Oh my god.
Does it work on range? Because range doesn't have cleave. So
the active.
Well, the active does,
but the active does.
Correct. So, well, and this is why it's an interesting item too, because it is an active and a passive. So even though you don't get that passive, the active burst of damage, you can still use it, and you still get the damage, the attack speed, and the lifesteal out of it. So as a whole, like the argument might be made that it might not be the best starting item on a carry, but as a whole, I had a blast just starting with it and trolling with it, to be real with you. Like it was actually super fun and like an interesting mechanic. Like what was it? We were at Raptors, our jungler didn't have a smite. And I said, I got you, boo-boo. Number 2, bam, AoE burst damage. Killed it. So it was interesting, for sure.
I've killed a couple of over-aggressive twin blasts already with that item. So it comes in quite useful.
Now, I was going to say...
We're on top of it. Morpheus does say the cleave item needs a visual effect. So...
Yes. That'd be cool.
I haven't seen it or use it.
I think all the items need more visual effects than they already have.
It does have a visual effect. There's like an AoE around you.
So the active does have a visual effect. I don't know if the passive does.
Well, no, the passive doesn't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even passives, I do wish that there was something. Like we've seen other MOBAs that whenever the cleave gets activated, next thing you know, like this AoE pulse comes off of where you hit or whatever. Like there's different ways to go about it, to implement it, right? But like we talked about last week, I think all items in general could use a little bit of touch up on the visual effects. Like take it from a 7 to a 10. Like make that shit flashy, and then after you make them super flashy, be like, okay, let's tone this one back, this one here, and etc. I feel like all the items are too safe right now, personally.
All right, before we get too far down the item path, though, Goose, how were your games with the patch?
Great. I didn't have any problems. Queued up fairly early in the afternoon and got matched with NA players. You can definitely tell when your ping is NA versus EU.
Yeah.
That like, not that it matters because they have great net codes, so you can't really feel it that much when you're playing on EU anyway. So that worked out really great. I guess it didn't work so well for people like in South America, stuff like that. But
yeah,
they have hot patched to fix that somewhat. But yeah, for the rest of us, it's been absolutely amazing. And didn't notice I didn't get caught stuck on anything. So a lot of the map bugs have been fixed. I will say the smoothened animations feel actually a little worse to me than they were before. Like, I don't know. It feels like everything's going way slower. Like it's probably going the exact same speed. It just looks slower. Especially it's really noticeable in Grux.
It's because you're not getting that snapback.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
So Grux, you would do that swing and you'd snap back to that normal, and then you got to do then you do the other swing and you'd snap back to normal. Mm-hmm. Now you're holding that and you're coming through and you're doing this. So you're not, and they actually said that the speed is the exact same. You're still doing that, but you're not getting the snapback.
It's a nice Carlton dance,
right?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, but that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. The fact that even though the attack speed is still the exact same for everybody, because it's a smoother animation, it doesn't just snap back to the original pose. It might actually seem like you're swinging a bit slower.
Yeah, it looks like you're holding still. You're like, okay, I'm not. Come on now, speed up a little bit, and yeah, that's what it is. So understandable though. I get why it feels that way. I also play characters that shoot, so I don't have that visual animation, so it's a little different. My games were great. I also got to play 2:30 this afternoon, and I played NA games. That's something that you don't do in the middle of the week. Like you have to play EU, and that's why you normally don't see me play at 2:30. But I wanted to get some games in before we did this show, and I want to be able to talk about it. So that was great to see. I love the hot fix where they actually added the to let you know your ping in the draft section, because
which is almost like a server indicator.
You're right. Their ping, where you're at doesn't matter on certain heroes that you are, but when you're actually trying to shoot, like with an ADC, it really is a little different when you're playing EU when you're an NA player. So that hurts that so you kind of want to know I don't want to be carry if I'm on the other server. So they brought that in so you would know, hey, my ping's up 100 something. All right, I got to play solo, and then you go play that. But so I still would play carry. You just got to adjust for it. But knowing that you're good to go. And then, so I like that. That was great. I love the fact that I can sit there and hold tab and click on Raptors, letting me know, hey, Raptors getting ready to come soon. Especially because like when we're all gaming together, we all sit there and shoot the shit and BS all the time. Right. So I'm sitting there trying, like, as we're BS, I'm trying like, hey guys, Raptors coming, Raptors ready or whatever. But I can just sit there and ping it while we're all still sitting there shooting the shit. Not have to worry about it. You guys can read, like, okay, yep, Raptors, let's go. And, we can still have a good time and not have to play ranked mode and be all serious. No talking,
Yeah, it gives me another way to ignore you.
Exactly. See,
I'll tell you what, it was actually cool. That feature was cool as hell. My camera's going all crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, your camera does not like it.
Right. But that feature was actually super cool. Like, I love the fact that I could, without having to interrupt, I pinged the bounty on somebody and it said, hey, this person has this much bounty. And the entire lobby already knew, focus that person. I got to figure out.
You got that. You can ping like, let's say we got somebody new playing solo lane and they're getting destroyed. Why am I getting destroyed? And then you could show, hey, well, it's because this person's got bail armor. Stay away from them, or whatever. You can click on the enemy bail armor and let them know this item is what's hurting you or something like that, And so that's cool. I like that. I also love. I wasn't streaming, so I got to wait until I'm actually streaming and see what my numbers are. But not streaming, I ran down to lane and I was waiting for the minions to get there. I'm literally looking left and right, trying to get my frames to drop. And the lowest I would drop was 119 frames. I was getting up to 220 something. So that's still quite the fluctuation.
Okay.
But like, it's not like it's not like what Oda was doing, the 60 to 2. And that's what I was doing when we did like patch 15 and like, oh my gosh, and we did an event and like, we're all just like lagging bad. that 60-2 was hurting me, and this, the 220 to 120, that's no problem. I can sit there work with it. It's not lag. It's just like, because they're just trying to focus on everything out that's on the screen. I'm like, that's awesome. So I can't wait to actually do stream while I'm actually running the computer, hard. I want to see what it's like.
I haven't tried the hot fixes, but I know I personally was getting below 60 FPS on my like dedicated gaming PC. I was like, okay, so something it was not right when it got announced, right? But if that's been fixed, that's dope. I can't wait to try it out after our partner panel here. Now, here's what we're gonna do this week. We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna go over the patch notes, but Goose is actually gonna be the one reading it. Trying something out a little different. If you guys don't like the way Goose reads it, please tell me all about it in the messages and comments below, because he's gonna do it anyway. And take it away, Goose. I'm going to follow you over here on screen.
All right, we're going to start with optimization. The space needed to install the game, they've dropped it from about 54 gigs down to 14 gigs, which was a 74% decrease in space needed. So now, whenever you download the game for the first time, it's only going to be 14 gigs. So that's pretty, I got a message from Huddy too. It says, put a hat on, too much of a glare.
No way, bro. He did not. Oh, he's a savage. What the fuck? Oh, we're definitely not going to play with Huddy later on tonight. Rip Huddy. Huddy's going to be like, you guys want to play? And be like, I'm sorry, bro. I got more important people. I apologize.
Huddy said stream came back just for that.
Let me go get a hat on.
Oh, let's talk about matchmaking, which we kind of went over, but
I want to talk about it.
We're definitely going to talk about it, because I mainly want to point out real quick, their hotfix, they edited the original update page to include the hotfix information below, and they dated when the hotfix happened, just in case somebody goes in there. So everything's on one place. Shout out to Strange Matters on that shit. I don't think they've done that before. I've never seen it before, but that shit's awesome.
I've never seen it before. Yeah, I like this.
Go ahead, Goose.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they changed region selector, which used to be you would select NA East or EU or SA, whatever. It is now just ping based. So you just queue up, you don't pick a region, and it automatically matches you via ping. And of course, that search net widens a bit as you, if there's nobody else with a similar ping around you. But I guess it was taking a really long time for certain servers, which is why they put in that hotfix.
So if you were NA and most of EU, you could find a match in your area, no problem. But if you were any of the other areas like OCE or SA, South America, you were pretty much guaranteed not to find a match, because your ping was too high for the two servers that are the two active servers to actually grab you. The analogy that I used in the feedback was, if you're NA, right? All right, you guys, all right, everybody, let's line, almost like, Mangus, you'll get a laugh out of this, height line, right? So height line, your height, the higher you are, the higher ping you got. The smaller you are, the shorter you are. All right, height line behind the slide. Okay. All right. So all you little kids, you're going to go up the slide and you go down. Well, those kids were going down the slide and come back around and cutting the kids that were in queue, waiting for the game to expand, and they're getting games, and they're just keep on.
Okay.
I show up and everything goes to hell. Shit.
It was Odo.
What the hell?
Yeah. So Bearded actually make a good analogy.
Yeah. Can you restart what you were saying, Bearded?
From the analogy?
Yeah, like the whole NA and preferred.
Oh, so the preferred, yeah. So the way I see it, and I'm guessing, and I really don't know yet because I haven't talked to anybody, but I would understand that, like, if you're South America, depending on what time it is, let's say it's peak EU time, you can go in and change your preferred area to be EU. So then it's going to help you. It's going to help push you in the EU servers. And then you can rotate to NA if you want to hit preferred NA when it's NA peak times, and you can try to, kind of boost yourself up into the line instead of having to sit back there and wait for that process to go through. That's the way I'm guessing it's going to work. I don't know.
Okay.
That just push this out today
That makes sense because it's basically like, hey, this is a priority setting. Like, this is what we prefer, but I'm open to being sent anywhere just to get a game. Okay. Yeah. I think that's not that bad. And again, shout out to them for actually including it on the page. Hotfix 4/15/22. Yeah.
I mean, and I get, so I'm on both sides, right? I feel bad for all of the people that are going through that situation. I love the fact, I'm actually able to reap the benefits here, right? Because I'm able to play games in the daytime at NA, and I'll have to wait until 8 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time to actually jump into NA servers and play during the peak times. I can play NA almost at any time now. But the other people who are playing all the time, South America, aren't able to do that. And I feel bad for them. But some of them are like jumping in the feedback session or even in general. And there's like, change it back. This is fucking stupid. This is the stupidest thing you've ever done. Why would you do it? Blah, blah. And it's like,
damn, really?
If you understand it, like the idea behind it, like it's actually great, especially because you have new people who don't know that there's a Discord and don't know, hey, this is where you follow the main situation. If you just have it this way, now all the new people don't have to come ask every time, hey, where should I queue? You just instantly, you're going to find a queue as you queue up, and it's just going to help everybody else queue up. They just need to fine tune it to where it's now going to, because right now, I don't know the timing. Let's just say it's every 10 minutes. It's going to expand that ping search, right? All right. Right now, we're going to try to find everybody with 40 ping. All right. You didn't find a match, or everybody that fits your ping, we're going to try to get, all right, we didn't get enough people. All right, now we're going to expand it 10 minutes. Now we're going to expand it in 10 minutes. Now we're going to expand it in 10 minutes. If it's 10 minutes, obviously that's not, enough. So we got to fine tune it. We got to find that. All right, here we go. Because if we put it down like where it is, we're going to get a bunch of people that are getting like 200 ping playing on one person's server that's only getting 40. And it's well, that's just a mismatch. And that one person is going to reap the benefits of that. And
you know what I would like to see? I would like them to open up the South America servers. Like officially, like you get what I'm saying? Like,
that costs too much money for the 10 people that are there and they're not all 10 on at the same time. And I only know this because I literally on my stream, I'll get Emersnate come in. Hey, we got 8 SA, join SA. Let's do a custom match. Like, no, I don't want to join SA. I've got destroyed by you guys many a time. I don't want to do it again. It's not fun for me.
But if they do that, let's say there are 8 out of 10 2 NA players that end up in South America, would be fine. Like that's helping. Oh my God, I just slapped the fuck out of my mic. that would be helping grow that South American community instead of alienating them, And there's a shit ton of mobile players in South America. I don't think that would be bad at all. Like giving them the opportunity to be like, hey, my preference is South America. And let's say the server determines like, hey, if you have at least majority, like 6 out of 10 in South America are queuing, it'll pull the other 4 from North America. I wouldn't be against that, just to help support that community.
Yeah. And people are saying 30 seconds, 10 seconds. And the 10 minutes was literally just me pulling a number out of my hat. Like I don't know. I really don't know what that search time is and what it's at. I just know they're trying to get data. They're getting feedback, and that's, I'm not saying the people that are going in there bitching shouldn't go in there and bitch. Definitely go in there and bitch because they need that feedback. Right. But
there's a way to do it.
The way it's worded, like, hey, this isn't good for me. I've been playing daily or whatever, or I used to do this. Give them the feedback of, hey, I was getting matches every, if I would do my queues only lasted 5 minutes and now they're 30 minutes, or now I can't even get a queue or whatever. That's information they need and good feedback, and give them that, like, because you have every reason to gripe. You paid for the game and you're not able to play it. That's not right. We got to get it to where everybody can play the game again. So I understand it. You have every reason to gripe. It's just the way it's worded and the way it, it's they're trying to help everybody. Yeah. So let's do that.
Ping-based matchmaking is absolutely fucking terrible for almost any game except for Fault. It's great for Fault in the current condition that it's in because you had NA East players all queuing EU because it was just time to queue EU.
The stigma was weird.
Enough people. So that solves that problem. It's what they needed, and I'm glad they did it. But yeah, it does need to be replaced in the future if they are able to get a much larger player base and get people queuing at.
I remember It wasn't even ping based. Something with Genesis. When I was playing Genesis, you would just randomly get put into a different server, and you would have to figure out. I think you had like 4 different servers, and they have a different name. And somebody I didn't know it. Somebody, oh, we're in this server. That means we're over in the Japan server or whatever, or we'll be on the South America server. And it would be horrible for us to be. Like we'd film like, oh great, here we are, we're in this server, and it was just all random. Like I don't know, like I didn't remember how Genesis did it, but I hated it. I'm like, nope, I don't want it. So I don't want anything like that. But it's definitely something that's needed. This ping based system is going to be better for us until we get the player base we need to do what we want to do. And This isn't a permanent thing. This is something that they're doing just to make it better, a quality life change for us now until we are in a better situation.
Odo, don't be afraid to cut us off.
Chat filter.
Chat filters.
So it now replaces messages that contain flagged words or phrases with a random line from the following list. Would you like me to read from the list? Because I love it. I'm going to read from the list.
Let's do it.
I think we should all do it. We should take turns.
Okay,
you say
I'll
one
start.
that
I love you. Okay, now I'll start.
I can't with them, bro.
I love you. I just wanted to tell Bearded that I love him.
That's what it was. You
So
can
much
tell. Go ahead, Odo. Read that next one, bro.
I'm having so much fun.
Oh man.
That one.
Oh,
The next one.
we got this, guys. Keep up the hard work.
We can win. What the fuck?
This game is so much fun.
I love SMS.
I love Fault.
Bro, you know what'd be funny actually? Side note, if they did these in like the Wii Sports voice, this game is so much fun. on a side note, have you guys actually seen these in game?
Yes.
Did you get a chance to?
Yes.
Really? I didn't come across it.
I mean, I immediately tested it out, of course.
I saw somebody testing it out. I literally was getting a bunch of these being tested. I'm like, okay, it works.
I saw that titties was still allowed as a word, so that's probably something they're gonna want to check on. Because somebody was just trying out words.
They have to have a way to describe Grux and Narbash. You gotta have the
right,
titties.
True.
Aim for the titties.
If they want, I'll send them the Ultra HD picture so they can see in detail.
I don't know. This was funny. I like that our the video that they had for it. Very tongue in cheek, kind of funny. I like that.
Yeah, on their Twitter
vibe that SMS is going for now. This is the vibe they need. This is the tactic they need to take. They're kind of like the good old boys, like the indie dev. They're like the true indie devs out of all 3 of the Paragon remakes right now. Like the other ones have massive amounts of money from investments, or they're backed by Netmarble or whatever. SMS is just like the little guy, like the underdog for everybody to root for. And they're kind of embracing that by showing their sense of humor. And I think that's a really smart thing for them to do. That's what's going to bring them back on the map, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely helping set them apart, like being the funny guy, so to speak.
A little less serious, yeah.
I feel like I'm attacked with that comment.
A little less serious.
Being the funny guy sets them apart. Being the funny guy.
Strange Matters is coming for Bearded's job.
Scoreboard pings, you can now click on various things found on the scoreboard to alert your teammates in team chat. We're looking to continue adding on to this in the future, but for now you should be able to ping the following aspects: hero levels, hero gold bounties, items, and objective spawns. Take it away, guys. I think we all love this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Completely love it.
I'm on controller, so it's not going to do much for me.
Oh,
Are you able to pull
there's no way to do
I
it.
can pull. I had to rebind all of my buttons inside of Fault, but with as slow as the cursor is, trying to click on any of that takes too much time. It's faster for me just to hit X and then pull up the menu and just go attack wraps, attack right, defend, whatever.
Like your typical
It's
pings.
quicker to go through that.
I mean, it would have to be easier for you on controller to ping somebody's item than to pull up a fucking panel and type out on that, Bellica has a blink.
That's a good point. True. Like,
Right?
like at the end of the day, it's still faster than console typing or like controller typing, right? Where we're like, click, 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 A, click, 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 S,
Yeah.
click, 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 click. Like, it's just like, bruh. But that's a good point. I don't really see many console players actually using that feature, like controller players. Because that does seem like a mouse and keyboard exclusive thing, no? Or how would they work that in?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't use the controller anymore, but I think what they're going to do eventually is have the same ping system that Predecessor has, that you can literally just look at something and hit a button and that will ping whatever you're looking at. You know,
That would be very nice, like an Apex Legends sort of ping, or like, you know, like in battle royales where you just look at something and a visual indicator pops up, like, hey, go here.
Yep. That's I'm hoping that, and then that would be a little easier, you know, as you're looking at it, whatever button you got to do in controller, hit that button, and then all right, there I ping, you know, I'm pinging this, you know, that'll be great.
That would be very nice.
And they said they're trying to expand on it, so maybe that is what they mean by that, or maybe they're just going to add more things that you can, you know, do without controller.
Yeah, because there is actually quite a surprising amount of controller players. Because I thought I was in like a minority of being one of the only people, but I've had so many people come into my chat and just like hit me up randomly, like, "Hey, I play controller too," and I'm like, "There's a lot more controller players out there than I think anyone realizes."
You know what you should do, and all of the
true.
other controller streamers should do in this game?
Advertise it.
Advertise it and have the overlay that shows what buttons you're hitting at the times that you're doing things.
That's big
is
brain.
A good idea, and I have not thought about that, but that is actually controller is one of my tags on Twitch.
Yeah.
I see.
So, but have that set up so you can see a controller, whatever controller you're playing, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation, and then it'll show them, all right, he's hitting R2 right now, or he's hitting this, like, you know.
Yeah, it'll help set you apart.
They can watch. Yeah. And that'll, you know, that'll set you apart. You know, people are going to your streams because they go to your stream. I go to your stream. I don't know you're playing a controller until you say something. You know, being a tag or not, I'm not reading people's tags. Just telling you right now, I'm just watching you as a streamer and I'm reading your chat. That's all I'm doing, right? So if I saw that overlay of a controller on your stream, I'd be like, oh, this guy's playing a controller. That's different. Okay,
That's actually big.
Yeah, no, that is actually a real. I kind of forgot that it existed, so I'm definitely going to be getting that.
I still say no matter how slow this system is, it's faster than trying to type out on a console.
Oh, I don't bother typing. It's controller. It's way too slow. I agree.
Yeah,
it's pings, or I just hope that they're smart enough to realize what's going on.
I wonder if there's a way when you have that, if there's a sensitivity that you can change while having the scoreboard pulled up.
There's not separately. No, it's all one. It's just like the mouse sensitivity setting in there. It's actually right below it.
Okay.
Interesting.
I do wish they would improve on the controller support, though. It's about 10 years old comparatively to what most stuff is out there right now.
Do we know if it's Steam support or if it's their support?
It's their support. It's directly.
Okay. Gotcha. So it just needs refinement overall.
Yeah, it needs a little bit added to it, bring it up to par. But for where it is and what it is right now, it's good enough. It just needs improvement.
Or you know what we should do? Do you all have a controller? I'm totally down for after the partner panel doing a controller only game.
No.
He said
I'm not doing that.
He said no, fuck that. Next items.
Why would I go back to the Stone Age when I've got fucking iron?
Yeah, the no also meant that I don't have one here with me. I let my nephew borrow it because his controller broke. So he's got my other extra controller that I would use. So I used to have it set up as a channel point situation that would force me to use controller. Then I would switch over and play controller for a little bit. But I let him. Yeah, so now I don't have that.
Balix just said in the chat, once all features are in that we have planned, they plan on overhauling the controller schemes. So
there you go.
There you go. Confirmed. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know how long it's going to take for things that we have planned, but that's dope. It's at least dope to see that they have a refinement coming down the road as opposed to, hey, that's good enough. You know what I mean? That intent's definitely nice.
see what Belix says now. Belix also says the Apex style ping system has been designed up for a good while. Just need to implement it.
Oh, so they have that in the game already, but it's just not implemented to the live patch.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
Some fine tuning that needs to be done with that. But yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome.
what a dick tease this Balix got.
right. Balix is this Edward Snowden of Green Madden, bro. He's dropping shit. Like, whoa. That's awesome. That's actually super awesome to hear. All of it is. Now I'm anxious for it.
Yeah.
Now I get to spam bearded. Yep.
Right?
As soon as I come up, the clink, 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 clink. Fucking attack.
Move on to items.
Yes.
We've got the Rend Cleaver, the Cleaver of Malice, and the Reaper's Cleaver. This is a component item, the Rend Cleaver. The Cleaver of Malice is a green version of the item, and Reaper's Cleaver is the purple. I'll go ahead. I'm not going to read through
Completed
the Rend
versions.
Cleaver's stats,
Yeah.
but let's take a look at the green. You get the unique passive, increase cleave damage by 35%. Unique active, deal 25. This is 25 plus basic. This says basic attack damage and 5% maximum health, physical damage, and a 600 unit radius around yourself. Heal 8% missing health for every hero damaged. Cooldown 15 seconds. This has 40 physical power, 25 attack speed, 300 health. It costs 3,200 gold, and it builds out of the Rend Cleaver and Titan's Maul.
Can I just say the active description needs work? Like, there's got to be like a better way to explain those numbers, right? Like, I'll tell you what. When I first saw bad, 25% bad, I sat there and I was like, fucking 25% bad. Let me think about that shit. What the fuck does bad mean? And then I was like, basic attack damage. So correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say your basics are doing, I don't know, like 120 with what you build,
Real
right?
quick, there could be a star at the very bottom, like a note, denote
Like a little legend or whatever.
Bad, and bad equals basic attack damage. There's a little legend on that, so then you would know that that's what that is there.
Well, when you're writing and you use an acronym, usually you put the acronym, then you put in parentheses what it actually means. And then for the rest,
Can you
know
inside parentheses though?
What's that?
Can you
a
put
parentheses within a parentheses? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Use brackets and then parentheses, but we're not doing fucking algebra here.
Right.
Writing some goddamn patch notes.
Now, I do find it interesting that it's based off of your basic, though, instead of just like the physical power, all the physical power that you're building. But somebody might not be building physical power, right? But their basic attacks still do X amount because it's scaling as the game goes on, right? Like, I think items like that type of item are going to be like amazing on like Sevrog and Chimera and Greystone, like all those people that have a decently scaling basic attack. So even if you build full tank, you'll be able to utilize it because your basics scale pretty well.
And I mean, I was imagining this combined with, was it called, what is it, Titan's armor? No, Knight's battle plate. The one that gives you a giant overshield. Because anytime you combine healing with shielding, you come out on top because you shield yourself for all kinds of damage and then you heal underneath that shield. So you're just not losing any life and you're gaining it back. So that's going to be this Cleaver of Malice combined with Knight's battle plate, which is Knight's battle plate is already an item a lot of tanky heroes use. Your crunches, your chimeras, anybody, a lot of junglers that like to get in there and mix it up. So I think this is going to be really great for them. Just not only to deal the extra damage, but for the healing. And we've already seen that it heals a shit ton.
Yeah, I haven't even tried it, but you're not wrong, especially with battle plate, because your what's it called? Your output, your damage output is reduced. Having that percentage health is going to be pretty fucking substantial in situations like that. Maybe that's a patch that they're going to release later, like the preventing the interaction between those two. Because the whole point of battle plate reducing your output damage is to reduce the amount that you heal back and the amount that you deal simultaneously. Like, it's like, hey, you're tanky, but at a cost, you know? But no,
maybe
I think they're
still
cool.
maybe it still is at that cost. Maybe you're not getting the full 8%.
No, you're getting the full 8% heal. You're just not getting that full damage out.
With the Knight's battle plate, you are?
Yeah, it cuts your damage in half, but this healing is just always 8% for each hero damage.
Oh, yo, Balix updated that shit on the fly. It says basic attack damage now. What the fuck?
Holy shit. We always knew the Strange Matter listens to partner panel.
Somebody get Balix a raise, bro. What the fuck?
We always knew they listened to us, but now it's been confirmed. All right.
That's the fastest action I've seen. Like, what the shit?
Thanks for that. Appreciate you, bud.
Thank you. Yes.
The Reaper's Cleaver, which is the purple cleaver, unique passive, increase your cleave damage by 35%. Unique active, deal 25 plus 125% basic attack damage, physical damage, and a 600 unit radius around yourself. Cooldown 15 seconds. 50 physical power, 25 attack speed, 10% lifesteal, 10% spell vamp. It costs 3,300 gold, and it builds out of Rend Cleaver and Voracious Steel. So yeah, this one just deals a lot more damage, but you don't get that heal.
But you do get, the life seal. Yeah. Which I will say, I like when I tried that shit on Murdock, like I was saying, the attack speed, life seal, power all felt amazing. And then when you combine it with that huge burst of damage, and it's 125% of your basic attack damage, like as a carry, that shit was stupid. My active on Reaper's Cleaver was doing more to or like Raptor than my jungler's smite was, because it was scaling harder.
I see this. I see this, and it's going to change later on. There's gonna be a patch, and it's going to be nerfed to the point for range. It's only going to give you half the basic attack damage or something. It's going to change to, because
I could see that.
It's not meant to be something for a range or for an ADC to have.
I think it's just going to be nerfed, period, because that's a lot.
Well, that too. Either way, I'm just saying.
Bro. Like,
even if you just nerf it overall, it's still on an ADC, a ranged ADC. This is going to be some damage, and the lifesteal you're getting off of it is going to be crazy. So that's that alone right there. I think that's going to be changed to where it's going to be, hey, it's only going to be half of whatever it is for ranged heroes, and then double that for melee.
I don't disagree that I see that coming, as well as the overall nerf, because I was just thinking about it. Like,
Link says we're praising his Twitter humor, so he's giving back.
We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you.
Yes.
But no, I totally see the nerf and that change coming, because, for example, I had a Chimera that leaped on me. I shotgunned him, did the AoE damage, then pushed him away, and I took 3/4 of his health before I even landed a basic. Like, it actually chunked the fire out of him, right? But I could see that being on the other side. I wonder how many Boris mains have started with Reaper's Cleaver, with the damage, the attack speed, the lifesteal, and then ult onto somebody. They don't get the kill, pop that button, boom, everything explodes around you. Because a Boris can build full damage.
I'm just thinking Feng Mao, though.
Feng Mao.
He goes in with a preloaded shield. That shit explodes. Then he hamstrings. Then he does this. Oh, you're fucking done.
That's big gank potential. You're not that's about to be my first item on Feng Mao. What do you mean?
Took the Boston right out of him there.
Boston.
Right.
You know what would help with that, though, Windu, is bot D.
I can't with him, bro. Next.
Next, we have basic attack smoothening, which I had to look that up. That is a word. Sounds like something I would make up. Basic attack smoothening. And basic attacks now flow together more fluidly, with each auto attack holding the end stance and flowing into the next animation instead of resetting the hero to their idle pose. We already talked about this a little bit. I think I got to get used to it. But
Yes.
when I originally saw it, it just felt really slow. But it's just one of those things that over time will just make more sense.
I think the new players coming in, they're just going to feel how smooth it is, and it's going to be great to them. Us, the way we see it, and we're used to know how this character plays, we're so used to, and it's just like, why are you going slow? And once we get used to it, we've been playing it for a while, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I love it. I love it. If you're just comparing these two videos together, these two little GIFs, we're going to call them together, it looks so much better, especially with Grux. I don't know about all the other characters, but just this one here they show you, seeing that side by side, or what do you want to call this? It's definitely a lot better.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. For the new player experience, that little detail is just going to make a better first impression for people playing it.
I believe that's an over-under, Bearded, and over-under.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He doesn't need to talk about this.
Hero physics. Added physics to a large amount of heroes in the game, including support for the main menu. This is something Jelly talked about. Said that if they ever fixed Chimera's tassels not dangling down in the main menu, that he would leave them a good review on Steam. And he sure as shit did. He said,
I saw
Chimera's tassels dangled down 10/10 and gave them a recommended review.
I can't, bro.
Look at that. Already had a good review, and that's all you had to do.
Yeah, but it's not one of those things that like killed the game or anything, but it was a little annoying that like Feng Mao's chain just stuck straight out.
Yeah,
in the menu.
You could notice. Like you definitely
tassels, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like Feng Mao dipped his chain in Viagra. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
Can't with you, Brad.
He gave a spear one of my blue pills.
No, they added Smart and Noblecast to Quang with both with his abilities. Both while Quang has a sword and out of when the sword's like in the he has it in the ground. So that's nice little quality life change there for him.
Mm.
And Steel doesn't do his lean anymore, I guess.
Yeah, because he would hard lean.
It is true. He was like tipping over drunk sort of eye, like yeah.
I just want to see him grab the ground so he can do a harder turn.
Yeah, bro.
That's kind of what he was doing. See, that's one of the things. Like I wanted to do a video detailing the differences between all the games, and Steel is one that's in all three games, and Steel is one that I have played extensively in all three games. But False Steel looks like garbage, and it doesn't really a good representation of the rest of Fault, because most of the Fault is really good. But you got Steel hard leaning with his shoulder about to fucking pop.
Yep.
that shoulder wiggle still in there.
Spasm. That fucking shoulder spasm, whole time going on.
Like that shit was about to erupt.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to HUD. Unless you have something else to say there, Windu?
No, I was just going to add it's actually a very nice quality of life overall. And I'm glad that they're doing these little changes along with some of the other bigger stuff that they're doing. Shout out to Strange Matter.
So the HUD, the buff and debuff indicators that added an Eldritch Flame debuff indicator, Titan's Guard, Titan's Armor, Titan's Spellbook, Fountain Birth Move Speed indicator, Fountain Spring Move Speed indicator. What's the fucking what? Phantom Blade Move indicator. Traveler's Augment Movement Speed. Let me get through this. Knight's Battle Plate Armor Bonus indicator. Demon Sword Shred debuff to show correct item art. Fate's Gunblade Spell Shield to show the correct item art. So a lot of different indicators added here. Okay, guys, what's the difference between the Fountain Birth and the Fountain Spring?
Fountain Birth is your very first one that you get when you
the super boost
the game, and you have that birth and you're able to run all the way to red buff, right? You sit there. That's that Fountain Birth. That's one you get for the while. The Fountain Spring is the ramp that shoots you up.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I thought Fountain Spring was 20 minutes plus movement.
Okay, that one, that's probably what that is. You're right. The 20 minutes. Yeah, the one you get for 20 minutes after when you lose the ramps. That's what I meant to say. Mm-hmm. I knew the ramps were involved. I just said it wrong. But yeah, it's the birth one is the very first one you get. And then the spring is when you get it after the 20 minutes and they take your, or when they take your T2 down. Oh, so you don't even get it when T2's down. You get nothing until 20, right?
I think it's just a 20-minute thing.
Yeah, if they take your T2 down before 20, you still don't get that.
Why do we still have the first movement speed?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
But why? You sit there for 45 seconds just standing there looking at everything.
That's where we get.
But if you're counter jungling, you need that movement speed to get all the way across the map by the time the timer starts.
It doesn't take you a minute. Almost. What was it? The first set of minion waves hits like mid at a minute, like 27.
Right, but
does it actually take a minute? from when you get in to go
minute 25. Minute 25 is the timer you're looking for. We're not talking about minions going to wave or minions going to lane, right? Because we're talking about jungling, right? So your buffs spawn at a minute 25, right? Red buff and blue buff, right? So if you want to counter jungle, and you want to put like a ward or a sentry down in your blue buff side, so you know that if the jungler is over there, you can go set your ward and then get over to red buff before red buff populates, and then you're able to sit there and take red buff. That's why you want that movement speed. If you didn't have that movement speed, you running to blue buff and putting that ward down and then trying to get to red buff, now your team, especially if that's dual lane side, dual lane's wasting their time trying to help you leash that red buff, because now you're right, those minions did get there now, and now those minions are dying, and that ADC is missing out on the gold and everything, the last hits on those minions, because they're trying to help the jungler leash that. So that's why you need that timer.
It's valid for jungle strats. Sorry, I was just gonna say it's valid for jungle strats, but also very dangerous for invades, because it definitely gives everybody the opportunity to just go invade before minute 25.
So that's just me just not understanding the jungle role all the way through. Because for me, correct, I 100% main carry. If I'm not playing carry, I'm probably throwing the game.
No, you play a pretty good Bellica. I'll give you that, Oda.
That's because she's half a carry. So
she's a carry with stuns.
Exactly, and an explosive. So
she's a
okay. So
carry.
Yeah. So okay,
I hate him.
That makes more sense.
Right? I hate him.
All right, sound effects. Countess got a full ability sound effects rework. I hope it goes better than Kai and Kwong.
Part of the hot fix.
Part
of the hot fix is they changed her sound effects because her sound effects were a little too quiet. So I believe they actually heightened them. That was one of the hot fixes that just happened today.
So
okay.
Pants as well this time.
Is that?
I don't know.
Is that what you're calling the Kai one?
Hear the leather on her legs when she's moving, and that latex suit of hers that she's got.
He said, "If I don't hear shaping, no, wrong."
I didn't like Kai's rework, and I didn't like Kwong's rework, but I don't play Countess, so I wouldn't know the difference.
Do we know if they're still using that third party company for audio that they announced a while back?
No idea.
I don't even remember about it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, those are the ones that made like the new Raptor sound, the new Prime sound, and stuff like that. Oh, and Bailey's just said in the chat negative, they're not using them anymore.
Okay, thanks,
yeah.
Bailey's.
Having like a Foley artist, like a sound engineer in there to handle all that stuff, definitely would go a long way. Matt does them all. I don't know who Matt is. You guys know who Matt is?
I barely know who I am. No.
I feel that.
Well, it's a strange matter. If you need Foley for phase wings, just hand Windu a picture in the board.
I can't with him, bro. I hate him. I hate him.
Oh fuck! Why is it always Windu? Oh, I would like.
Hey man,
everybody else a little more, but Windu is just such an easy target.
I hate him.
They also added ambient and interactive river audio.
Oh,
have you guys heard that?
That was
yes.
That was
the minions
nice.
running through the river as they're going through is fucking awesome. But as an ADC and you're waiting for something to happen, I'm sitting like I hear footsteps. All right, footsteps should stop soon. Nope, they keep going because minions keep going through there. I'm like, what's going on?
So it was almost a little too much.
It's one of those you just got to get used to.
Okay.
Because I believe it's going to sound different. It's everybody's footsteps sound different. And you like that was the minion footsteps that I was hearing, like I just need to know when I'm hearing something else going through, so it just takes a little bit to get used to.
It is nice to have that too, because it's something I noticed after.
And you can tune it out. Like I also was just sitting there shooting shit and wasn't paying attention to. It was just when I was just sitting there messing around, like, oh, okay, I can hear that. That's nice.
I'll be real with you. I never even noticed in the match that I played. Yeah, like at all. I totally skipped over.
You got too much rock music going in your ears as you're playing.
Yo, you're not wrong. I always play with music in my ears, right?
Or you just have
You're not wrong.
Island Boy on repeat nonstop.
Sold.
Let's move on to bug fixes. This one was much needed. Draft dodging the AI, the PBE.
Yes.
Games will no longer cause temporary bans. Thank God for that. And fix an issue when trying to lock in a hero someone already has would reset the lobby.
I will say, I really wish that, speaking of the AI dodging or whatever, I found myself almost hostage in an AI match because I joined an AI match just to try one item on one character, right? Got enough gold, got it. It was maybe like 8 minutes deep, right? And then I'm like, surrender. I can't. And then exit closes the entire fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, I have to alt F4. Like, I have to close the entire game for leaving this AI match. Like, you feel me? Like the awkward after the initial surrender timer is gone and then getting to that 10-minute mark or whatever. But yeah, I really want a whole leave to lobby option instead of just exit the whole fucking game. Maybe that's just me.
Nice. No, because I go in there to do the same thing.
Well,
I go in there for one item. And it's
Well, I don't know if you can within that time frame, right? Like, if you do alt F4 and then boot up the game, you don't get penalized for it, right? Like, you're not in trouble. Like, you don't get a small ban or whatever, but you still have to close the game.
Yeah.
To exit it.
Okay.
Unless it's that surrender time frame.
Well, then there you go. Balix, if you heard what Windu said, that would definitely be a good quality of life change then.
Yeah. And I didn't even know about this issue. Trying to lock in a hero with somebody already has would reset the lobby.
that would explain a few of them.
That would explain some lobbies. Yeah, that I'm so confused that it seemed like everybody was.
Yeah, everybody's going good, and then all of a sudden you're just booted back.
Well, at that point, wouldn't that be technically a draft dodge because you never selected a hero? What does it do now? Like, it just selects a random hero for you?
Well, what I think it's saying is that it's like if someone already has it locked in, but you're like kind of distracted, went to go pick it, instead of it letting the counter go out, it would just boot you back to the lobby. I think that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Huh, not 100% sure what fixed in that scenario means.
I don't know. I never knew it was a problem, so I guess I'll never know what the solution is.
Yeah,
Platypus says the issue was if two people were trying to take the same hero and one person took it and the other tried, it auto boot you instead of letting you pick.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so now it'll just be like, can't grab that one. Pick a different one.
Yeah.
Instead of just insta kicking you. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's a nice thing. Nice change.
This one here, I like this next change.
Yeah, fixed an issue causing emotes to not cancel when hitting left mouse button, casting an ability, or moving.
Wait, we've got room for emotes. That takes up a whole extra thing.
What?
The what?
There ain't no room for emotes. I know what you're
in your controller?
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
But no,
this was an issue for a while, for real. You would get locked into doing an emote.
Well, the only way you could do is you could
left control.
Yeah, left control would cancel it. That was the only way.
That was the only way.
Yep. So this way now you can actually cancel it by I could sit there and emote while I'm waiting for red buff, and then I can just instantly just auto attack now or basic attack and do it there.
Another amazing quality of life change
issue.
Yep.
This happened to me recently, actually. What's his name? Mike Wolfie? Is he the new streamer? There's a new guy streaming Fault. And I saw him in lane. He was playing several guys playing Steel. And as I come to lane, he was bouncing in the middle lane. So we did our jumps around, hey, I recognize you, you recognize me.
Jump
and then
around.
and then I started to emote, and then the minions got there. And he's over there getting last hits, and I'm locked into Steel's fucking
spinning around in bullshit.
God damn it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely needed. And again, helps that initial experience that people get, that first impression. Because even being locked in those animations is like, oh, well, great. That's something that he works on. Anything that they can take off of that list of this needs work on is just an overall better experience for everybody. Yeah. So kudos there.
Then we got Boris fixed an issue causing ability to deal hit. Well, this is just specifically for his maul, his right mouse button. Fixed an issue causing ability to deal damage through spell bubbles. I guess it's because he passes through people and hits twice. Shouldn't this deal damage?
Isn't this just like basically a double basic attack?
Yeah, I would think that one would remove the bubble and then the second one would deal damage. Maybe the problem is that both were dealing damage.
Well, aren't all his abilities physical damage? Is not ability damage, so shouldn't he be able to?
Well, the spell bubble will block like a Murdock blast too.
It should stop an ability though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ability is his 2 basic attacks. The R&B is 2 basic attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the benefit of that. But that's an ability, so it should block both of them. It's there to block an ability. That's an ability, not
then it
block
should
one of them.
Block all instances of gadgets seek and destroy, but it doesn't. It blocks the first tick or the first tick of Gideon's ultimate.
That's a good point. And Boris technically is 2 hits on that right mouse button.
Yeah, because FaZe has the same thing. If you get a spell shield, the first time she hits it, it's gone.
Okay. Well, you talked me out of that. I understand that makes sense. So it should still only hit 1. So yeah, maybe it was doing both.
Well, PT Doc in the chat is asking, is his right mouse button on Boris, is it actually 1 instance of damage? Because I know the description says he swipes twice, and while he's leaping, you see him do a double swipe, right? But does it count as only 1? Like, I don't see 2 different damage numbers pop up when that happens.
Bailey says tick damage is treated differently.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but guess that was a little thing that needed changing there, right?
I've seen a lot of Boris lately, and I'm kind of surprised because he's a very good counter to crunch.
His numbers are very low, actually. So I went and looked at it earlier today. So if you go to Heroes and Playfault.com, you go to Heroes there. He's only got a 12.92% pick rate.
Really?
What?
Yep, and that's overall. That's all of my. I'm not clicking on my bronze or anything like that. I'm clicking on all, and he's very low pick rate. Very low pick rate.
Such a good counter to crunch. You would think you would see
12%. Holy shit.
More.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
Now that I scroll through all of these, he's actually the lowest picked hero out of all of them. The next lowest picked hero is somebody that she's so low, you might as well take her out of the game. I'm okay with that. You might as well just get her out since she's not picked that much. So
Kalari?
I'm okay with that. Exactly.
Well,
get her out of the game.
Well, interestingly enough, Boris and Kalari have both the lowest pick rate and the lowest win rates.
Yep. So buffs coming soon.
Buffing Kalari and Boris. It's something we thought we'd never hear.
I definitely don't think either of them need a buff. People just need to learn how to play them. They're high skill heroes. Of course, they're going to have low win rates.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd say Boris is that high of a skill cap. I don't play jungle that often, but when I'm forced into it, he's one of the few junglers I pick.
Because you just spam all the abilities and W key and left click.
I mean, yeah, but people
as long as you got the canisters, you're good.
People sniff at the wrong time. They use the canisters too early. Mm-hmm. They don't dodge CC with the RMB. They use his ultimate too early. Use his ultimate to escape stuff. Like, there's a lot of shit you can do wrong on Boris, and there's a lot of shit I see people do wrong on Boris.
I think a buff to Boris that is needed is the ability to pick who you want to sniff. Too many times you come out that fog wall and you sniff and you're locked onto that support and you wanted that ADC.
Sniff closer.
I mean, yeah, that's part of the skill gap to it. I'm kind of against that little change, to be real with you, because a good Boris will sniff the right person, and even if they sniff the wrong person,
there's no sniffing the right person. It's almost random on how it goes.
No, it's based off of who's closest to you, distance wise.
So but it's also supposed to be like who, like, isn't it supposed to be like based off of like who's at what level and stuff like that too, though? Like, isn't it like based off like, hey, this person's at 50% health or something like that or whatever? Like,
I'll check real quick, but I thought it was just literally who's ever's closest to him. Yeah, and then his based. Yeah. So here, hold on.
Blood tracker. Boris senses the direction of all enemy heroes that are below 50% max health on the map.
That's a passive.
Boris sniffs in the air. Boris sniffs in the air, sensing the nearest enemy hero within
4,000
units, gaining bonus movement speed towards the target. Boris also gains attack speed onto the target, marked target within range. Right.
Yeah, so it's literally the nearest one. That's why, like, if the support's closer to the jungle and he's aiming for the carry that's on the outside of the lane, he has to get close to that carry, then sniff while he's on top of that carry. Like, it's just more of a skill thing at that point, right? But I really think this purple cleave item is going to be big on Kalari and Boris, though, especially in the jungle. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to help him out with a cleave. It's going to give him extra burst damage. It's going to give him lifesteal, attack speed. D-Trigger, shout out to him, was actually mentioning in the chat that it's kind of like a tank meta going on right now. Like, there's a lot of tank items, a lot of physical tank armor that can go around, right? With a lot of effects and everything. And unless you have some pen to get past that, Boris can't really do much. So Boris ends up being just like carries. You want to do something to a tank, you have to build pen. And a lot of people are finding themselves building pen early as opposed to later, right?
So forward crunch is RMB. Fix an issue causing thruster visual effects to get stuck after causing the ability. That's when you had the constant flames coming out of his back.
I thought that was cool.
Good fix there. Yeah.
That's the visual effects, but was there a sound effects fix with that as well? Because
I imagine that's probably fixed too. Yeah.
Is that with that? Because the sound effects, sometimes I wasn't getting the visual effects, but you just had the constant sound effects the whole time as well.
I don't know. Maybe it's whenever that visual effects happened, the sound followed as well, like a triggering effect sort of vibe. I guess we'll see, right?
Gadget Disruptor Drone. Fix an issue causing drone to get stuck on towers. Thank God, this was super annoying.
True.
I don't know if anybody ever experienced that one.
I would have to play Ezra for that to happen.
Yeah, no, you would throw the drone, and in your eyes, you're like, clear line of sight. That's gonna go right over the tower and get him because he's hiding behind the tower, right? Easy kill. And then woo, you got a drone literally hitting the top of the turret for no damn reason. It's like, whoa.
And the turret's not taking any damage.
Right.
Grim Mode EXE, his E. Fix an issue with ability not giving Grim EXE energy back on auto hit.
Okay.
For Grim, I can see that being a big issue if that wasn't working properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a huge part of his kit, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Grux, the Oreo charge. Fix an issue causing ability to knock up ability enemies with spell bubble.
That says Okaros, bro. I didn't know that was a thing either.
What? That doesn't say Oreo charge?
If you step in the middle of the Oreo charge, you get cream.
Okay, that
Jesus Christ.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I can't with you, bro. It's Jesus fuck.
Well, I guess the only way to stop is to pull it apart and lick the center then, huh?
Yep.
Whoa!
Relax. All right, go ahead, bro. Jesus.
So fix an issue causing ability to knock up enemies in the bubble. I guess that was a thing. Didn't know. Kalari Assassin's Tactics. Fixed a bug causing Kalari to have increased predation damage against an enemy Kalari. When the fuck do you ever see two Kalaris in one game? But
right. How they
find this one.
I will say I kind of like that. Like, can they make that a thing? Like, be like, hey, you'll have extra damage versus an enemy Kalari. Like, if there's two Kalaris, there can only be one Supreme Hunter in this bitch. Like, yo.
What is it, his Highlander?
Predator. Anyway.
If I knew reckoning on Kalari, I'd have been doing that shit a long time ago. Narbash, Crash Bang Boom, fixed an issue causing the ability sound effects to cut in and out. Never noticed this.
Did they fix the sound effects where you get stuck with that one too? Because that one sucks.
I haven't seen that in a while, to be real with you.
Yeah,
I haven't either. But I also don't play with a Narbash very often. The Narbash is one of the lower picked with me as a ADC. I don't get
he's
Narbash.
Really good too. I don't get Narbash
supports very often anymore.
I need to fuck with Narbash a little more.
Next mastery.
Psychic Link, her R&B, fix an issue causing Link to randomly break on ally heroes.
Okay, true.
Don't play phase, so I didn't know that happened. Richter, Electro Whip, fix an issue causing silence to stop some heroes' auto attacks. Ooh, didn't know that was happening either. So it was a silence and a disarm baked into one ability.
The only reason Mangoose was doing well, confirmed.
Yeah. Steel fixed an issue with Steel's shoulder movements.
Oh, they did fix the shoulder.
Hallelujah.
No, Wiggle with it is gone.
Twin Blast Grenade fixed an issue causing ability charges to stack above 3. Twin Blast, and then a hot fix for Twin Blast. His dash now moves diagonally.
I'm assuming that's more for like controller players. How you like? I mean, because typically mouse and keyboard players are pressing one of the keys whenever they trigger the dash. Mm-hmm. So maybe now that's not, if somebody's on controller.
Yeah, you can definitely press both.
You can move diagonally.
True.
Yeah. I want to go back real quick because I was wondering, as when I said Narbash, I don't get him very often. I was kind of wondering what his pick rate was, and his pick rate is sitting at 29.64%. But I clicked support to kind of see where he lands with all the supports. So Belix, I don't know if this is something to do with the website or something, but
everybody's
these heroes that are on here. I got Murdock, Muriel, Narbash, Faith, and Sparrow. There's no
under support.
Under support.
Oh, no Richter, no Decker, but then all these random characters are showing up. So that might have been an oversight that nobody noticed that we just found out. Actually, Decker Jungle's a thing, and Richter Jungle and Sparrow Jungle. Is this? So I wonder if this is based off of what people choose in game. Maybe no, because then. Well, no, because then Decker would definitely show up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just something I said to pass on to the website.
Chat says crunch support 80% pick rate. That's nutty.
Yeah, it apparently is. So
good either. Right, good catch.
For the map, I'm just going to shotgun through these, and then we can go back and talk about any that catches anybody's eye.
Please,
a lot of map ones. So foliage, missing foliage has been added across the map. Lanes, fixed dusk side solo lane tower rings collision. Fix some collision on the outside wall of duo lane. Fix the ramps between inhibitors and dawn side should no longer be able to walk up them. Fix an invisible wall going into mid lane from river stairs. Jungle, blue buff area. Fixed various ledges near blue buff from being stood on. Fixed blue buff walls collision. Fixed a tree and dawn side blue buff causing players to get stuck. Fixed some ledges on the stairs of blue buff side going into side lanes. Fixed blue buff side jungle camp closest to the mid lane walls from being stood on. Fixed pillars from being stood out on next to the blue shrines. Fixed the statues in blue side jungle from being stood on. Fixed the ramp on the platform in blue side jungle to have a bit smoother collision. Fix a tree behind the platform in blue side jungle from clipping with player cameras. Fix stairs going into mid lane T1 towers from blue jungle to have smoother collision. Fix the orbs above the blue buff from being stood upon. Fix the hallway next to mid lane blue side jungle to have smoother collision. Prime pit. Fix an issue causing Prime's influence to still apply to dead teammates after Prime is slain. Red buff area. Fixed red buff archway from being stood on. Fix the staircase next to mid going into red jungle, both sides. Fixed dusk side red jungle entrance. Fix some ledges red side jungle from being stood on. Fix the tree and rock from being stood on in dawn side red jungle near duo lane. Fix the invisible walls going up the stairs from red jungle into mid lane. Raptor area, fix a ledge above Prime Helix and Raptor from being stood on. Fix an invisible wall coming out of Raptor Pit towards the dusk side blue jungle. Shrines, fixed ledges above gold and green shrine from being stood on. What? Fix gold shrines, small staircase collision. Lane minions, fix an issue causing minions to bounce on each other's head as they spawn in.
Bro, could we just get a quick little shout out to Goose? What the? Yo. I'll be honest with you. You are the only human in existence I know that can read all that with the same exact excited tone, and then before the last sentence go, what? Like, holy shit. That's actually quite a bit.
So that Prime Pit one, huge.
What is that? I don't get that one.
So you were getting the benefits of Prime if you were dead. If you're dead, you're not supposed to get benefits.
Ooh, no shit.
Yeah.
Like if you died while grabbing
I
Prime.
hadn't seen it, or at least I didn't know if maybe I wasn't paying that much attention if I was going against that or whatever. But like,
That's
huge. I would, I guess.
It seems like they fixed a lot of shit that people were standing on that I didn't know about. It does look like they fixed collision with the rings around inhibs and towers and stuff. That's the main thing I wanted fixed. That's what I wanted to see. And that's in here. So
Yeah, I'll be real. When I got a chance to play it, the original before the hotfix, I didn't run into any collision issues specifically where beforehand I almost always at least ran into one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and shout out to them for all the stuff they fixed. I completely understand why they listed each individual fix on here to kind of show it's like, hey, we fixed all of these instead of fixed map collision issues and leave it up to random, right? So
Right.
I'm not mad at it, but that shit was a bitch to read through. Shout out to Goose again.
So Figure's asking, can you not use teleports, jumps, and dashes over red side jungle into T1 lane? What is that? What are we talking about? I'm trying to read that. I don't know.
So you know how in the red side jungle, right? There's a wall that you used to be able to jump over, right? Like did they just add
the stairs?
Yeah. So did they just add an invisible wall and you can't do a Gideon teleport over it, or you can't Twin Blast dash over it? Because with Twin Blast, you could jump, dash forward, and clear it without ever stepping on that ledge. So it's actually a valid question. Like, did they put an invisible wall there, or did they simply, I don't know, put like a little triangle on top of the surface so as soon as you try to stand on it, you immediately slide off?
Well, didn't they like temporarily fix that like a few weeks ago, and they took it away because too many people were complaining specifically about that stairs? Because right there, it's kind of just something a lot of people do right before they hit red buff, because we got so much time to chill that you just go run, jump up there, chill for a little bit. I mean, it was kind of like a weird skill thing too. Like if you knew how to jump over and off of that, you could save a little bit of time getting around it instead of going down and all the way around. Because I've seen a couple people do that before.
I'm okay with being able to go over it, dash across it, and like dash over it and stuff like that, right? Standing on it is kind of cheap. Like there was an invade where I forgot who I was. I think I was a support, but I was trolling my ass off, just jumping back and forth onto that wall like I always did. And I saw them coming from a mile away because I was on top of the wall and could see all the way like to that river entrance by mid, being on top of that wall, right? So it's not that it's impossible to see that angle, because technically if you like hug the wall, look at the camera, whatever, but it's definitely, it was a little broken on the defensive side. So I'm okay with not being able to stand on it. As much fun as they just took away from me before that minute 25, I'm okay with that.
Felix says standing on it grants so much vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. PT Doc says you can still get on that ledge. Nothing changed. I don't know.
The
what?
fog wall next to, I don't know what we're talking about.
No, the actual walls on the stairs at red buff.
Oh, okay. I got you. You know what? I don't know when they beveled the edge of the fog wall in the elbow. When did they do that? Because you can't just
edge on the fog wall.
They beveled it so you can't stand up there anymore. You slide off.
On which one?
It's not flat. Like the fog wall that faces gold buff. You know, you go up the elbow, you go up the stairs, and you can stand right there. I used to stand right there. You can't stand there anymore.
Oh, so you can't. Okay, interesting.
Now. It comes to a point instead of
you have to commit.
I did that the other day, and fell immediately and landed on a cheeky phase who was, I don't know what the fuck she was trying to do, but it was the enemy phase was underneath me and I landed on her head with Richter. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? And why the fuck did I just fall off?
Spicy, easy kill.
She got broke all right. Because her team was not with her.
Oh, chat's mentioning
The teabag.
Dietrich was referring to more to the outer wall between jungle and the red side. You know how there's a wall there that'll let you go into, what is it? I think it's is it dusk red side? There's a wall that you can leap over, you know, teleport over and etc. into the duo tower. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think you can still jump on that one. You can still go through there.
But I think they might have made it so you can't stand on that ledge, on that wall.
Okay. You get me? They beveled it a little bit.
I think so.
Cool. All right, balance. This is a big one, general. Last hitting and lifesteal. Lifesteal and damage is no longer constricted by how much HP your target has. If your target has 20 HP left and your auto attacks do 2,000 damage, you will now get the full benefit of your damage instead of just benefiting from their remaining health. This is a huge change, especially for carries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I never even realized that was a problem.
I don't know. 100% read that incorrectly the first time. So I thought it was something completely different. Like I thought.
So
like,
what did you think it was?
That you were gonna get a full chunk of health for like last hitting someone, but it's I'm trying to remember it. It was something goofy like you were only gonna get like extra health back from hitting someone.
Yeah, you definitely read that wrong. You just confused me.
Well, you can see where I had the issue then.
This is a much needed change. This is something I discovered when I was fucking around with Kwong, just testing stuff out to see if I can find bugs with him. And I realized that lifesteal doesn't have the same effect on when you're last hitting a minion as just hitting a minion. And it's because it's totally dependent on how much damage you actually apply a minion instead of the damage you did. So this changes it to where it's always however much damage you did, that's how much lifesteal you get. Doesn't matter how much life your target actually has. Great change for ADCs. It's going to make that I think this is going to make Tebow just a great choice for a lot of, maybe not just ADCs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Time for double D-Blade with Tykes.
Right? Or even like Goose was just saying, like Tebow, like you're probably going to see a lot more people run Tebow in that solo lane now. Or like, for example, we were just talking about Boris. Everybody knows that Boris's lifesteal is a huge part of his kit. Now that lifesteal gets applied properly at all instances, that might be a nice little change to him. Low-key a buff to him in his kit.
13% tick rate.
And he'll have even more lifesteal when that minion's about to be last hit.
Yeah.
Because it's dependent upon missing health.
Yeah, like I never even realized that was a thing, but I'm glad that it's not anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I think you'll notice the change, even if you. I think you probably would have noticed that something was different, even if they didn't put it in the patch notes.
That explains a couple of the fights against Twin Blast that I lost.
Yeah, I probably won't have as many double-digit deaths as I normally do.
I don't know.
One of my games, the one solid game I had, I played against a Twin Blast, and he had already built D-Blade, and I had just finished my set of boots because I was a little bit ahead of him, but not by much. And we got into a fight that I should have won by a little bit. And then I just got deleted, and he's running away with half health. And I'm like, I hit you with everything. You should be dead. And he just walked off.
Well, that wouldn't have anything to do with your fight. This has more to do with minion lifesteal.
Mangus, let me ask you a question. This lifesteal change, is that going to benefit me more, or would my support getting bot D for support help me more?
I would say that getting bot D instead of subs would probably benefit you more.
I hate you both.
In this change to lifesteal.
Give that bot D
you're
bullshit
shielded,
up.
and you get some last hits while you're shielded, you'll gain life.
All right, so for anybody that doesn't realize what's been going on with this bot D bullshit, let me just explain it to y'all. These motherfuckers absolutely hate that I never fucking run bot D. Like, ever. It doesn't even matter the situation. Be like, hey,
Don't forget
first support item, second, third, fourth. I'm not running bot D. If I'm supporting for Bearded, all green. Confirmed. Like, I'm not running bot D for you, bro.
It's got armor.
Oh my god. They hate it. They hate it.
All right. Crunch. All right. A big old balance pass
Again.
for Crunch. Left Crunch. Cooldown increased from 6 to 8 at all levels. Cleave percent increased from 50 to 75% at all levels. Empowered cleave percent changed from 80, 85, 90, 95, 100 to 100% at all levels. Base damage changed from whatever to whatever. We'll say from 260 to 210. So actually, no, what I do have to read all these goddamn numbers. Changed from 60 to 70, 110 to 105, 160 to 140, 210 to 175, and 260 to 210. So a little bit lower.
Yeah,
physical power scaling.
It gets higher in the beginning and it's lower at the end.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit better in the early game, but he kind of falls off. But he doesn't fall off because the scaling is actually
His physical power scaling increased from 75 to 90%. Energy power scaling increased from 60 to 75%. So the left crunch cooldown is it takes longer, but it hits harder now.
Yep.
And it hits harder earlier, a little less hard later, but it's still going to hit harder than it used to.
And that cleave percent.
Yeah, that's big. That's big, especially because of the new cleave items.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to help with jungle clear too.
See, now with the new cleave items, I would have thought that cleave percent would have maybe either stayed or would have went down a little bit.
Well, it's not going to affect the cleave item. The cleave item is basic attacks, and that's an ability.
True.
That's a good point.
I'm not saying it's going to affect, but I mean, it's going to give him more cleave.
Yeah.
Overall, he has it on his basic, and now he's going to have it on his ability as well, right? So having him on both is going to be different. You know, it almost gives him a better, you know, more jungle clearing than a lot of the other heroes.
Confirmed. Build a cleaver, then build Infernal Gunblade. Change my mind. Helicopter crunch, get me in.
His forward crunch, his right mouse button, that's his one that shoots him. Movement speed slow was removed from both the normal and empowered ability. Range reduced from 1050 to 850. Empowered range reduced from 1350 to 1050. Physical power scaling increased from 50 to 75%. Energy power scaling increased from 40 to 60%. So you're not going to go as far. You're not going to slow people, but you're going to hit them a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
Good change. Great change, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
This was going way too far. He was catching Gideons. Like, you shouldn't be able to just catch a Gideon like that.
Right.
And
I like how his empowered range now is what his full range was on the non-empowered one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they brought it back completely, and that's good. And I like it because that's not even his empowered range. That's not even full ranged, like a carry range, right? Carries go.
I think it's 12.
12, right? Windu or
so, yeah. The carry, a standard carry range is right around 1500, like 1400, 1500.
So he can't even close that gap of a carry with that empowered, which is, I mean, I'm okay with that. So,
yeah, it's definitely big. But if he combines them both, he still has enough to escape the damage zone.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
His right crunch, which is his stun / uppercut. The empowered stun reduced from 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8 to 0.75 seconds at all levels. So it always does less of a stun than it used to. Base damage changed from 50, 95, 140, 185, 230 to 60, 95, 130, 165, 200. Can I get a 200 going once, going twice? Physical power scaling increased from 50 to 90%. Energy power scaling increased from 40 to 80%. So again, they made it less effective, but it hits harder. Hits harder early and still hits harder late because his physical power and energy power scaling have gone up.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Why do you think they're sorry, I was just gonna say, like, why so are they just trying to make Crunch into another like official duelist like Feng Mao? Just give him like heavy scaling as far as the damage side?
I think they're just trying to make up for taking away a lot of his I don't know, I forgot the word I was going to say, but he had a lot to his kit. Like he could slow people, he could stun people for fucking ever. So they're taking that away and just giving him more damage to compensate for taking that away. Because Crunch could keep you stunned for fucking ever.
Yeah, you were locked down pretty much with him.
No,
Yeah.
It was, unless you can make a miss, you were just kind of done.
Yeah, it was oppressive. But early game, he didn't have enough damage to take on a Chimera. It didn't matter what health you were and what health the Chimera was. You just didn't have the damage to outscale his healing.
Oh, no.
And Yozora, actually, the hotfix they did before, he was supposed to be at 1 at all levels. It brought it down to it's supposed to be stun level. Stun duration was supposed to be 1 at all levels. This is actually even lower at 0.75 seconds at all levels.
Yeah.
That passive change. Stacks now refresh a new application instead of having their own timers.
Bearded, are you fucking reading these or am I reading these? I'm sorry.
I can't, yo. He just straight face looked at you like, bitch. Like,
I literally thought you read it. So, but yeah, I'm taking over, bitch. Sit back. Enjoy the ride.
oh my god, I can't.
So,
Oh,
But
it's
no,
a mustache ride.
oh, obviously, I even got a nice soft seat.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, what is that? Somebody explain that to me because I'm not good with Crunch as it is. So I'm trying to understand that a little bit better. Like, what do they say with that? What does that mean?
I'll be honest with you.
Bearded, I have no fucking idea.
Okay,
I was about to say,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I'm in the same.
yeah, no, I'll be honest. That's not the clearest like sentence. So stacks on his passive now refresh on new application instead of having their own timers. So
Oh, God, the last time I played Crunch, there was something to do with timers that I thought was fucking weird.
I know when his passive, right? So the
his passive is the empowered.
The empowered, right?
Yeah.
So you get 2 off, and then you have so many seconds for it to,
Yeah, like
so
10 seconds or whatever.
One, right?
Yeah, 3 abilities within 10 seconds.
I now I remember what was throwing me off because your first one would have like a 10-second cooldown. The second one would have a 10-second cooldown, but by that time you cast your second one, the first one would have like an 8-second cooldown. And it went so by the time you cast that third one, it didn't matter when the last time you cast an ability was. It was a matter when's the last
when
time
you started
that first ability.
Oh, okay. So
Now it's just
refreshes.
total.
So you could left crunch, wait 9 seconds, right crunch, wait another 9 seconds, and then have an empowered ability.
Got you. When before, if you waited that 9 seconds, you left crunch, wait 9 seconds, right crunch, you
were already done.
Now
You already ran out. Yeah.
One set, you need to hurry up and get that ability off. Okay,
There we go.
got you. That makes sense. All right.
Hey, we
at
did it
least-
together, guys. Great
There we
job.
go.
GG's. And for the record, chat, the seconds might be off. We're just throwing out numbers. We don't know the exact timer on that shit.
Always
But
it's easy.
cool.
And
Okay.
Twin Blast, rapid fire his right mouse button. The ability will now increase dynamically with overdrive passive stacks. So
I'm
he
glad
gets,
you took back over because I read that dramatically, not dynamically.
I fucking can't.
ability will now increase dramatically with overdrive passive stacks.
I mean, interesting though. So based off of his stacks, his right mouse button is now more efficient.
Yeah.
I didn't even think his right mouse button was honestly that bad, but it's even stronger now. Correct.
Either.
Even more attack speed if you've got those stacks going. So you'll get the movement speed from the stacks, and now you can get that stack count and use it towards your right mouse button for increased attack speed.
Mhm.
You move faster and you shoot way faster now. Well, I say way because we don't know the exact amount. This is kind of vague. It just says it'll increase dynamically. So interesting
We
though.
just need him to change his ultimate to be some cool visual effect and not just him glowing. And I'll play Twin Blast more often.
And he could use a couple of small tweaks. It's especially with the way the game is right now. A lot of his, especially if his attack speed stuff, it gets maxed out before you can use any of it, like before mid game hits.
Oh, we just got Odo into attack speed conversation. All right, guys, we're gonna be here for a while.
Bearded, it's not that I don't like attack speed. It's the fact that right now it's so easy to hit max attack speed. You hit it before 15 minutes. You get 3 sets of wraps, 1, maybe 2 attack speed items, and you're capped already. That's why I don't run double red. Because even running 1 red aspect and doing that, I put 10 points into red and I never touch it again. I throw everything else in there because I'm already pushing 200 plus attack speed. So,
I mean, I'll tell you what, with Twin Blast,
it's basically useless.
yeah, with his extra attack speed now specifically, and we got Sparrow that increases in attack speed and stuff. I definitely would like to see something done about that cap, right? Like if I want to shoot fast as shit and it affects my damage numbers, right? I really want them to find a way to let that be available. Because it like you said, it's really easy to reach that max attack speed depending on the character that you're using. And then from there, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, guess I can't shoot any faster or whatever.
I'm going to address PT in the chat really quick. The passives that you get from the rad aspects aren't really that great, in my opinion. And on top of it, one of them, it's cut in half already just because we're a carry. I'd rather throw that into extra attack power. Because 15, 20 favorite points into purple is going to overrun that 4 to 8% armor shred you get. Especially if it's a 45-minute game. I'd rather have the extra attack power.
But I say we could literally sit here and talk.
Oh yeah,
builds all day, bro.
for hours on this.
Go ahead, Goose.
Odo on attack speed conversation.
Blinded chest plate. We're moving on to items here. Increased healing reduction from 50 to 60%. We're going to see this further along. They're just increasing trauma across the board to 60%. Reduced healing.
Which is an interesting choice.
I think it's because of that lifesteal change that we had with the last hitting and lifesteal.
Oh yeah, most
To
definitely.
dissuade a lifesteal
maybe.
meta.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Perhaps.
I tried that shit. Doesn't work. I literally went every lifesteal item in the game that I could find. I definitely could not beat out. Who was it? I think it was Rish, maybe? Like a full tank Richter running at me. I definitely lasted way longer than I should have in a normal fight, but lifesteal is not that fucking strong. So don't go into games building full lifesteal and thinking that shit's gonna work out for you, because it definitely doesn't.
Bloodlust Shaber. Physical power reduced from 80 to 60. Lifesteal increased from 10 to 20%. Gold cost reduced from 3,600 to 3,200. And removed serrated bayonet from the build path.
I'm a little bit sad about that. I like the fact that Bloodlust Saber had one of the higher attack powers.
True, but at this point, let's say for a carry that doesn't have mobility like a Sparrow, people have that option to build it early and not have to buy one of the most expensive items as the first item. You get me?
Oh yeah.
Like it's actually cheaper than GD crossbow. Like if you got a player that rather be safer and maybe they're still learning or whatever, it's not it's decent.
Sad that it got changed, but I understand why they did it. It's just we really don't, as carries, we don't have a lot of high damage hitting items, especially compared to like mid laners, where you can get up to 500-600 energy power, and we're kind of cruising at around 250 to 3. Because I go through and I'll build mid lane for Belica.
Yeah.
I'll run double stacks.
What is the attack speed though? That 300 They're at 600, right? We're saying 250, 300 for us, right? At what attack speed compared to a mid's attack speed with their 600?
The mid
Who's doing more
need
damage
attack
in a
speed.
certain amount of time? Right, but I'm saying like, you don't.
The mid's going to do more damage, especially if you're running anyone with like a knockup. I can two-shot just about everybody with Bellica, with just the knockup and the bomb, because I have so much damage, and that's without even
Yeah, but that's because she's a stunning carry.
I can't with you, bro. He literally just tried his hardest to bring that shit back. Y'all heard that bullshit?
I did not.
Y'all heard that shit?
Hardest. Like I'm over here like sweating here. Like that shit just came off quick, dude. That's easy.
Oh my god. But nah, overall about Bloodlust Saber, I'm not mad at it. I like that they made the change. It does reduce the power, but it makes it more of a purposeful lifesteal utility item.
Yeah.
What if we brought down lifesteal to like 15% and bumped up physical power to like 70%? 70%, but 70.
I still like it better this way.
Physical power.
I still like it better this way because when you look at all the lifesteal items in the game, like that have lifesteal as a stat, the Cleaver now included, the purple one, there's really a lack of like good lifesteal items, right? The fact that if I wanted to, I can build only Bloodlust Saber as a lifesteal item and still get 20%. That's a good amount. 20% is not bad at all.
Yeah, I think this one is actually the highest lifesteal item we have.
I think
maybe.
Isn't 20 like the average?
Because Demonic Embrace got changed to 20 also. And we'll get there. Go ahead and continue, Goose.
Cursed Remnant, increased healing reduction from 50 to 60%. We've already covered the trauma change. Demonic Embrace removed physical power from passive, added 20% spell vamp to passive. Passive lifesteal reduced from 30 to 20%.
That's big. That even mages can now rock it as a last minute extra lifesteal sort of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wonder if this 20% spell vamp applies to AoE because...
Like a full apply to the AoE?
Yeah, because it's usually like, was it with Queen that you get 9%?
Like a reduced amount?
But it's only 3% for AoE abilities.
That's a great question. Because if you can get 20% spell vamp on landing a Gideon Rock on 4 people, that's a good amount of chunking you're about to do, bro. Mm-hmm. You're about to get your full life from that. So, interesting for sure. And I could definitely see Gideon's rocking that shit.
Yeah.
Like middle of the ult. Or Countess, yeah, like especially with stacking along with her lifesteal regen, whatever the hell it's called, right?
Mm-hmm. So, spell vamp, that's ability lifesteal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, putting Demonic Embrace on, let's say, a Murdock with my shotgun, I'm getting lifesteal with my shotgun, but then I'm also getting that 20% lifesteal with my basics.
So. Yes, but you got to remember on Demonic Embrace passive, that passive only activates whenever you get below a certain threshold. Whenever you get low enough within that certain threshold and it's on cooldown, that's when everything will give you the lifesteal, your abilities, your basics, everything.
So this,
but if you're above like that threshold
of the cloak of fortune,
but the cloak gives you a shield. This gives you lifesteal.
It's still the life shield is the gain. You still gain 10% lifesteal in the passive. So Cloak of Fortune right now, unique passive. Overdrive, taking damage that put you into a critical condition creates a 250 plus 22 hero level shield absorbing the damage. Lasts for 3 seconds, and you gain a 10% lifesteal for 6 seconds after overdrive is triggered. So,
yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. It's
similar. Yeah,
you don't get a shield, but you're getting that. You
more lifesteal.
More lifesteal out of it.
And you could stack both of those. You could do the cloak and Demonic Embrace. So you can get extra lifesteal if you're low enough.
I kind of like that because you're getting the 50, you're getting more physical power, you're getting pen, and for me as a guy that I need more, I like my sustainability, so I'm getting 250 health with just the stats on it, and I'm getting the ability vamp. Okay.
I'll definitely try this out. I've always liked Demonic Embrace.
And it doesn't have attack speed, so you'll love it.
Oh yeah,
They've been trying to make it viable.
accurate, bearded.
I can't. They've been trying to make the Demonic Embrace viable for a while. So we'll see if this one actually sticks.
It's
Go
got
ahead,
a cool
Goose.
name and cool art. So let's do it up. Make it viable. Demon Sword. Health reduced from 400 to 300. Physical power increased from 40 to 50. Now builds out of Leather Satchel and Titan's Maul. I think the only other thing I know that builds out of Leather Satchel is the red Smite.
Okay.
Phantom Blade builds out of it.
Oh, really?
I think.
I mean, cool that they're adding more variety to, certain items that build in and out of things, right?
I think Demon Sword, you get it for the passive anyway, so.
The armor shred?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that 100 HP and 10 power, it's just making it more of a damage item instead of more sustained. Because like you said, you're getting it for the armor shred. So you should, it's almost like prioritizing the damage aspect of it as opposed to the sustain aspect of it.
All right. Fist of the Titan. Here you go, Oda. Added 30 attack speed. Health reduced from 400 to 300. Now builds out of Titan's Maul and Mage's Bolt.
That build path is surprising.
Yeah,
With
a little bit.
Mage's Bolt.
So do you get the effect of Magus Bolt? And then you just randomly build a Fist of Titan?
I don't think you get an effect from Mage's Bolt.
Yeah, you get an extra
Yeah.
15 damage.
The extra damage on basic auto. Just like it's like a effect
Give
only.
you speed and energy powers on shit.
No, it's basically the effect side. You know how GD Crossbow is, it has that passive that deals extra damage per hit.
Yeah. And
So
I get what you're saying, like
it's basically just that effect. No stats along with it.
Slick armor and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But it's weird that it builds into Fist of Titan unless they're planning on changing Fist of Titan.
I know, right? Because the Fist of the Titan doesn't have that passive.
Yeah, it's typically just health and power, and it converts health into power. That's a passive, right? But now you also get 30 attack speed out of it. Hello, Greystone?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Leather Satchel builds into Demon Sword, Rain of Fervor, and Phantom Blade, and Enlightened Saber. Or the 4 that it actually builds into.
Okay.
I'm noticing with these Demon Swords and the Fist of Titan, the health reductions. Do you guys think this is something to try to get away from the tank meta that we have?
Yep.
Maybe, yeah. Because some of these items that would typically be used by tanks are getting shifted. Not fully changed, but more shifted. It's like, hey, you're not going to get crazy tank out of all of these. Like, we see what's going on. Let's slowly adjust a bit and see how it works. But I dig it.
Saying, if you want to build tank, you need to build tank. You don't get tank plus damage.
Yep, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Next up is Jar of Farts. Increased healing reduction from 50 to 60%.
I can't with you, Brian.
Remember that?
What? That chain smells funny.
Jesus Christ.
You guys are what? I just said the name, Jar of Farts. Knight's Battle Plate. Shield changed from a flat value to decaying over time. Outgoing damage reduction increased from 50% to 75%. Ooh,
big, bro.
For Knights.
Yikes. The 75% damage reduction is crazy. And now your shield, it's not just like, hey, here's the shield, take it all away. Over time, it slowly starts going away on its own. So you can actually sit there and waste Knight's Battle Plate even more. I like it.
Wish they would have let us know like how much it decays over time and for how long, how quickly.
Well, I can assume it's still the standard time frame because the shield only lasted so long anyhow, right? Mm-hmm. So I can assume at the start of the shield it's full, right? And by the end, typically where the shield would just disappear, now it's just slowly going to decay all the way to 0 by the time frame. I'm assuming that's still that way.
This is a good change because this thing was a real pain in the ass.
It was OP. A physical armor, energy armor, and a shield that was insane. It was definitely way too strong. And the fact that...
Do you think there's any change? This change is kind of something to do with that cleave item, stacking both of them. Yeah, you're still getting health off of it, but you're not able to do as much damage with it as well.
I don't think so. I think this was just a straight up, they needed to nerf Knight's Battle Plate, so they nerfed Knight's Battle Plate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that.
Chat says decaying over 3 seconds.
Percent physical penetration increased from 25% to 30%. Maximum bonus damage percentage decreased from 20% to 15%.
This is to help that tank meta as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I will say...
At the bottom, we have Strange Matter Team.
I can't with him, bro. He just wanted to add that.
13th, 2022.
But no, Knight's Battle Play definitely just, it's like Goose said, they needed a hardcore nerf on that one. I know for a fact, me building a full damage Feng Mao with Knight's Battle Plate, I was able to tank way too much and still chunk people.
And your execute still executes. It doesn't matter what your damage is reduced by.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Good point. But no, I will say, overall, I'm going to give Strange Matters kudos for the hot fixes specifically. And actually, let me go over those here with you guys real quick, because they did post on their Discord. I will say they posted a little bit on social media, like they mentioned 1 or 2 points, right? And then from there, the entire thing is listed on Discord, which then takes you to a Discord join link. You got to accept the rules, etc. Right? I really wish it would have just been an easier format, like one of those like extended tweets or whatever, right? Just something a little bit easier to read instead of following 3 steps to read it. But so with some of the hot fixes that they implemented in the last 30 hours, they're fixing some mild server crashes, item stacks not working as intended on Twin Blacks and Gruts, ward charge cooldown not working as intended, players with high ping having trouble queuing, change hero level ping to only reflect the last visible to another player, so it actually reflect the actual current. River sound effects adjustment, counter sound effects adjustment, Purity of the Ancients now gives the correct movement speed, and the adjusted Twin Blast dash. Now, they mentioned here, also due to the feedback on our new matchmaking system, we added a preferred matchmaking server setting. We went over that, but they also, correct me if I'm wrong, in the hot fixes was that they actually included it shows your ping that we talked about, right? It wasn't part of the full patch.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to them. If you guys have any feedback, go into their Discord. They do have a feedback log that you can go in there and type it, let them know. Looks like they're, actively looking at that. So go ahead and use that.
That first hot fix, the first time they came out and they did the mild server crashes, right? The item stacks not working as intended on Twin Blast and Grux. I don't know the one that was on Twin Blast, but the one that was on Grux was game breaking some bullshit.
It was hilarious.
It was your smite. You could literally go around and smite everything.
Smite had no cooldown whatsoever.
Nothing.
Wow.
So you were just running through jungle and you were smiting every jungle camp, everything.
I watched Darkly walk up to Orb Prime after 20 minutes and just
Yo, I'm done.
taking any damage. Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah. So that's a huge one, right? That's a huge one. Like, holy cow.
Oh, what? No, nobody would notice that one.
Yeah, ward charges. So yeah, people would go and they would put a ward down, and then the ward wouldn't refresh. It didn't matter if they backed and they put let's say they had the normal shadow ward, right? They go back and they put on the rad pulse ward, and they still wouldn't have any ward charges. So you couldn't, basically you put a ward down. Once that ward's gone, you were done for the rest. You couldn't put any more wards down unless you bought sentries for the rest of the game. So that's a huge bug fix they have with that one. Players with high ping having trouble queuing. They've been working on that nonstop. So kudos to that one for sure. Changed hero level ping to only reflect the level last visible to another player. I don't know what that even means.
So if nobody had even seen the guy, you would ping him and it would just show their level.
Oh, okay. That's the whole tab when we have the scoreboard. Okay.
Yeah. Now you have to actually have seen the jungler in order to ping that he is now level 6. So the last
time you saw him, he was a level 4. If you haven't seen him since, he could be level 6, but you last saw him, you're level 4. All right. That's a good one too. Because now you're not just able to, hey, well, where's he at now? Let me, check on him without actually see him. That's good. Right. That makes it more, challenging and what's the word I'm looking for? Competitive. Yeah. River sound effects, yes. So people were saying that the river sound effects were just crazy high. Counter sound effects, they were saying was crazy low. Yeah, and then we'll see. I haven't really been able to since they made this. I was at a family dinner, so since they made this last hot fix, I haven't been able to sit around Gen Chat and the community feedback. So I don't know how the South America team is running with that. You know, how they're feeling with this new change, if it's benefiting them or not. So, but I'm interested to see how they're doing. So if there's actually anybody in chat, South America, or that was having these issues and not be able to get in queue or having very long queue times, since they made this hot fix, have you guys noticed any change with that? Let me know.
True. And you know what's something I'd like to actually kind of do just on our side out of curiosity for the next week? I want people that made it this far to leave a comment below and actually let us know what CPU you're using, what GPU you're using, and what type of frames are you looking at? Because I'm actually very, very curious. I want to know if the hotfix fixed anything. Again, this is April 15th, right? So moving forward, I want to see if these hotfixes actually fixed it for people. If there are people that are still struggling hardcore with the actual graphics, I'd love to see if maybe we could find some correlation there and be like, oh, well, you know what? We're starting to see a common trend between the individuals that are struggling, right? Just out of curiosity for our sake. So if you guys do get a chance, comment that down below.
Yeah. Leo Morpheus did comment. I know he's one of the South America ones. He said way better now for South America. So that's great to hear.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yep. One thing I do want to say, and I was playing earlier today, and I noticed it. I remember reading it in the patch, and I want to go over it again because I forgot it when we hit it. Fixed an issue causing silence to stop some heroes' auto attacks for Richter. All right. I played against a Richter as a Sparrow, and his silence was stopping my auto attacks. So I think this is something that still needs to be addressed. I couldn't get a clip of it because I wasn't streaming, and I don't have my NVIDIA thing set up. So what is it? Shadow Play? Is that what it's called? I don't have that set up. So I need to get that set up so I can actually just hit those clips and I can send that to the team. But I did notice that was happening. And so we got
after the patch,
if you're here, or Platypus, if you're here, anybody who's here that I saw you in chat earlier, let you know what's happening. Maybe we can get a tester to go in, look at it real quick. But I was Sparrow against a Richter. Yep.
You remember the skin you had by any chance?
I used two skins today, the gold skin and the purple skin. I don't remember which one it was for sure, but I used those two skins when I played my two matches today, and it happened. So one,
gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you, because my account will tell me what match I went against the Richter. So it was the purple skin. It was that the Raven,
one,
looking like one.
Gotcha. Exor's asking, isn't that the point of a silence? I guess the question would be, should a silence stop you from basic attacking? Because then that's a disarm. Silence typically just prevents you from using abilities or cancels abilities, channeled abilities and such, right?
Shouldn't stop basic attacks. Because then what the fuck would Greystone be for?
I can't with you, bro. But no. So thank you, everybody that made it this far. Yo, let's give a big shout out to Goose also. Leave a GG Goose down below. Because I told him straight up, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to need you to go through these patch notes. Because I'm just going to need you to do it, bro. Please. So shout out to Goose. Let us know what you think. I definitely prefer him reading the notes instead of me, personally. But yeah, we appreciate everybody that tuned in. Let us know also down below what you guys thought about the different changes that they're implementing. If you thought they were actually worthwhile or not. We'd love to hear all that feedback. Talk about it next week. Yeah, Jelly telling him that he sucks.
He was giving me a weird look because I was laughing so hard. He's like, why are you laughing? What's going on? Now you know. By the way, Windu, I had the honor to play against you 4 days ago. Sad you weren't streaming. I would have wanted to see your reaction.
Oh, so you got a chance to play with me. Because literally, I only did one match, like right when the patch dropped, right? And I started with the cleave item. I went like full attack speed, lifesteal build and whatever. My team was yelling at, like mauling in the chat. They're like, Windu, you need to build some fucking pen. I was like, let me do my thing, boo-boo. Stop, mind your business. Like, they were so fucking mad, bro. We ended up losing. I was testing, whatever, right? I was trying shit, but GG.
How dare you?
Right. But no. So let's say our goodbyes here. Starting off with Odo in the same order that we were here in the beginning. Give us your 2 cents, man. Like words of wisdom to the community, and then throw any plugs that you got, like your channel and stuff like that.
Oh, well, like I said, I'm Oda. Chill out a little bit and relax. The games are here to be fun. It's not like we have ranked or anything. Have a little fun, try some wacky builds. You never know. Stacking 2 items with Tykes works, especially when it's D-Blade, despite what Bearded says. Just chillax, have some fun. Like, I see way too much toxicity all of the time. It's unnecessary at this point. Save that for ranked. And once you're in ranked, I don't care. But right now, relax, have some fun. I've said it 1,000 times already. But that's what it's here for.
Wise words.
True.
Wise words. I'm the Mangoose. Check me out on YouTube. Don't play Countess, but I would like to treat her like Oda treats an Oreo. Over to you, Bearded.
What the fuck does that mean? Oh, Jesus. Go ahead, Beard.
He likes to break it apart and lick the inside. Anyway,
he said
so-
split it and lick it.
Yeah, split it and lick it. He said that earlier. Anyways, Odo, I'll give you a real quick second. Let us know where you're at. I know you're on Twitch. I also know you're on TikTok. What else you got going on? Where are you at, and what are your names? Because I know your name on TikTok's different than what we have here.
Yes, on TikTok it is Master Oda, because Oda was already taken for all of the 5 other ones I tried. I'm on, like I said, Twitch. I'm on Twitter under Oda917. I'm on YouTube under Oda as well. So basically there.
Okay. And send all those links to me if you don't mind, and then I will get those to Windu so we can put those in the description of the YouTube video when we post that as well on Wednesday.
Bet. Yep.
And all right, my message is for SMS this time, and great job. Like, you guys are making strides and closing gaps that were there. I mean, there's still gaps, but you're closing on those gaps that were there between these and the other games, and doing a great job. And I love the fact that we made a change. You guys made a drastic change with the ping system, going with a ping matchmaking instead. And then you guys are working your ass off trying to figure out a fix to help the other teammates or the other players that were trying to have issues like South America and them, and working on that and getting them happy as well. Great job. Round of applause for you guys. Keep up the great work. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Have a beer on me. Well, I can't pay for it, but yeah, have a beer, with me, and let's have a good time.
True. No plugs. Where can they find you, Bearded?
If you don't know by now,
New people might not.
it's here.
For a hacker.
It's here.
That cracks me up. I don't know why that cracked me up so much.
Man, so I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna piggyback off of what Bearded said here. I like overall the creativity of some of these solutions that they're coming up with. Because like Mangu said earlier, like the whole dynamic lobbies or dynamic matchmaking, whatever, typically it'd be a pretty bad idea, but it's a pretty damn good solution for the given situation, right? So yeah, just shout out to them. I would definitely say keep that whole community building aspect that you've got going on Twitter and just improve upon that, build on that. Like, you don't have to post every day, a couple times a week is fine, but even sitting there and commenting on those posts drives up engagement, which then is better when you actually release important news. But yeah, shout out to Strange Matters. I think they're doing a great job. They're definitely fixing things that a lot of people feel like it should have been fixed a while ago, or adding things that people feel like should have been there from the beginning, right? Like, obviously that's a never ending list, but definitely shout out to them all day. And If you guys are watching this again, for those of you that don't know, if you made it this far again, GG's in the comments below. But we do stream these live on Twitch at the Bearded Wolverine's channel. That link will be down below. All these episodes will be available in podcast form on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, as well as they all go up on YouTube the following week on Wednesdays at noon. But we appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys are showing. And as always, next one, homies. Peace.
See ya.